Can we start, ma'am?
Yeah, over to Parul and Sammy.
नमस्ते, मैं पारुल। दोस्तों, आपका स्वागत है हमारे आज के शनिवार के सेशन में। मैं और मेरी दोस्त समीक्षा आपका स्वागत करते हैं और उम्मीद करते हैं कि आज अपने दिल की बातें जो हम करने के लिए यहाँ एकत्रित हुए हैं वो आप हमारे साथ साझा कर सकेंगे। दोस्तों, पिछले साल सितंबर में कलकत्ता में एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ था जिसमें आप में से भी बहुत से लोग गए होंगे। वहां पर जब बबली रामाचंद्रन के बारे में उनका भाई राहुल बात कर रहा था तो मैं उसकी आंखों की चमक देख रही थी। वो कितनी खुशी से अपनी बहन के बारे में बहुत सारी चीजें बता रहा था। और ठीक उस समय जब स्टेज पर वो बबली को ज्वाइन करते हैं तो बबली की जो खुशी थी, जो उसकी आंखें झलक रही थी, जो उसके कंधे कॉन्फिडेंस से एक अलग ही तरीके से हो गए थे, वो भी मैं देख रही थी। आपने देखा होगा पिछले दिनों ऐश्वर्या को कुछ तरह की एक प्रॉब्लम ने आ घेरा था, जो शारीरिक रूप से एक चोट के वजह से उसे आई थी। और वहां पर जो खुशी को हमने देखा साथ में खड़े हुए, हर जगह उसके लिए दौड़ते हुए, तो वो भी एक भाई बहन की ही बात थी। अभी कुछ दिनों पहले आपने भी शायद देखा हो, शार्क टैंक में मैंने देखा श्वेता की दोनों बेटियां उसके साथ थी। और वहां वो जो दोनों हाथ में हाथ खड़ा लेके खड़ी थी और एक दूसरे का सहारा बनी हुई थी और एक दूसरे के लिए कह रही थी कि हमें एक दूसरे के चीयर लीडर हैं सबसे बड़े। ये भी सबसे बड़ी खुशी की बात है। पर इसमें अलग क्या है, ये तो सभी भाई बहनों का रिश्ता होता है। तो क्या स्पेशल बच्चों के या डाउन सिंड्रोम ब्लेस्ड बच्चों के भाई बहनों का रिश्ता भी उनसे उसी तरह का होता है? क्या रिश्ता कुछ अलग होना चाहिए? क्या उन भाई बहनों की जिम्मेदारी कुछ अलग होनी चाहिए जिनके भाई बहन डाउन सिंड्रोम ब्लेस्ड है? क्या उनके ऊपर ये बोझ है या उनके लिए ये एक नेमत है, या इसे हमें ऐसे ही ट्रीट करना चाहिए जैसे हम दूसरे भाई बहनों को ट्रीट करते हैं? ये बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो हमारे पेरेंट्स के मन में और सोसाइटी में आती हैं। आज इन्हीं पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ डॉक्टर रेखा रामाचंद्रन, डाउन सिंड्रोम फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया की प्रेसिडेंट हैं, जो और हमारी मार्गदर्शक भी रही हैं। रेखा माँ आज आप सबसे बात करने वाली हैं, आपके सवालों के भी जवाब देने वाली हैं कि हाँ, भाई बहन का नाता कितना महत्वपूर्ण होता है इस सब के लिए। इस सब को आगे ले जाने के लिए मैं अपनी दोस्त समीक्षा को आमंत्रित करती हूँ। समीक्षा, क्या कहती हैं आप?
Absolutely, Parul. I agree with each word you just spoke and about each sibling you mentioned. I mean, there are many more in list. We can't take everybody's name, but they are all included when we call the term sibling. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome in today's session. Being a sibling can be an amazing experience for which we are so grateful. It might not feel that great all the time, of course. You might not enjoy every detail when you are younger and have to share a lot of space and attention, or when you are older and must keep up with your younger ones. Supporting someone dear during difficult times is an instinctive reaction. However, when that individual requires substantial assistance, it becomes essential to keep a balance. You must take care of yourself by providing support to another person. Depending on the type of relationships one has with a special person, the challenges they face and the amount of help they receive can greatly affect their sibling. Like Parul rightly mentioned, while some research indicates that siblings may experience enhanced mental health benefits from nurturing relationships, to other highlights the specific challenges faced by siblings with special needs, which can lead to feeling of being overlooked, isolated, and anxious also. So in the end, the well-being of a sibling of an exceptional person is ambiguous and necessitates considering both the favorable aspects of their connection and the potential obstacles they may encounter. Yes, having a person with Down syndrome can significantly impact family dynamics and pose unique challenges, though it can be very subjective in the Indian context, as the environment and dynamics of a family is determined and influenced by many, many factors. And in today's session, we aim to explore with our own dear Rekha Ma how a child's neurodiversity influences the family the family dynamics. Additionally, together with all the parents and caregivers present here with us, we will also investigate how neurodiversity affects relationships among siblings. So Rekha, starting from you, because you are the person with the most extensive experience seeing this community grow. You have encountered so many parents and the siblings and the different composition of the family where, you know, there are two children, the elder one has the DS or the younger one is born with the DS. So I think we will start from you by knowing your, yes, Rahul, we all heard in the last IIDSC. Now coming to you regarding today's subject. Over to you, Rekha. Warm welcome.
Hi, everyone. So, good evening from a very, very warm and humid Chennai. So, I want to tell you that I am not talking about the person with Down syndrome. Okay. In this equation, to me, I have always told the parents that from my experience, I found the other child slowly moving away because they feel isolated. Now, whenever we have a child who has some needs, any special needs, it doesn't matter. Whether it is even a stammer, or you feel absolutely responsible and you want to make things perfect for the absolutely clean up the situation and make things so easy for the other child, not realizing that one more is looking at you. What did I do that I don't get this type of attention? I mean, do I have to become this person? Or do I have to actually act like I've got something seriously wrong with me, like fever, for my mother to notice me? Because I find that children sometimes, they don't show their feelings. Why? They know the mother is already going through so much that it is not possible for her. Yes, 1 second, Kabir. Yes, Kabir. I'm talking, Kabir. You want watermelon? I mean, listen, now I have demands from grandchildren. If I have any more of them, I'm going to shoot myself. Stop. Okay. So what I am saying now is that you look at both your children and try to see whether you can spend more time with the person who's the typical person. I'm not kidding. They just don't let on. They just don't let on that we feel bad or that everybody is actually praising this the person with Down syndrome. So they act as if they're supporting. I'm telling you, you saw it on our IIDSC conference where every child broke down. Every child. Why don't I get my mother's fullest attention? Do I always have to be second? Do I always have to? They won't say it in so many words, but I have heard it. And I have spoken to every sibling. I keep connections with the siblings. And they actually will never tell their parents because they feel mama's already having issues. And you always want mama to be happy. Whichever child it is, it's mama's got to be happy. How do you make your mama happy if you are going to tell her, I need attention, knowing mama has to be in the hospital, knowing that mama has to look after my brother or sister? But it's so difficult to be the mother, the father, and the child in that situation. Till then, Rahul was the apple of our eye, the apple of my eye. And after 4.5 years, he suddenly saw me shifting out of that completely, that zone where it was all Rahul. And suddenly one person walks in and I can't, I mean, regardless of whether I want to, I can't, because she was in surgery, one after the other. And you always feel this child might need more attention, not realizing, look at the feelings. And actually he went into a no zone area where he would sit in a rocking chair and not tell me anything. But I knew that he was going through a their pain. And this is what I want all the parents. Yes, your children have got Down syndrome, but they are the stronger ones. Just remember one thing. Even today, I'm telling you, when I look at Bubbly and I look at Rahul, she is the one who's controlling the situation. She makes everyone smile. She just sits quietly and watches and observes. They are now 45 and 48 or 49. They're close to becoming, very, very mature in their feelings, but they still have that. They want mama. There's one thing I want to tell everybody. There's one thing in the world that no one wants to share. You can share all your gifts, everything you can give. But mama, nobody. You can't take my mama away suddenly and say, okay. And that jealousy is there. And it's a hidden jealousy, which I am finding in all our children. They will come and sit when the operations are going on. When I go there, I come for most of the surgery. So I'm sitting there in the surgery and watching the other child. I've been told to go and pray for this one. I've been told. So why, where am I in all of this? So why do you put the onus on the other child? I heard so many children crying over there, and I also felt it. I felt deep inside me that I had not done justice. So this is my takeaway, and I want you all to be more like your little children could be 3 and 5 or 5 and 7. Give them the attention. When they come from school, you're not there, or when they're running into the house, and they are also babies. And they want that mother has to be there for both. I know it's a very, very difficult situation. I know it is. And I actually empathize with mothers. But don't take away that childhood. Don't take it away, because they can't express it. And he would always put up his guard before he said anything, because he thought, already mama's having so many issues. I don't want mama to feel it. So it's a tough situation for a little child. And I could see that much later when I started realizing, and people gave me a feedback. I didn't realize, we never understood child psychology 50 years ago. I don't think any of us knew what was psychology. Child just grew up. But now the children are more conscious, and they want that. They want to be known. And like they're playing a game, they want mama to play the game with them. And you're going to say, no, I have to take them for therapy. I mean, all right, you have to go for therapy, but then where am I in this? So understand how important it is to keep them both there, give them both the same attention, work on it. I love you parents very much. It's the most difficult thing to be a mother, the most difficult thing. But we are there and we will support you. You have issues, please call, talk to us. We will try to see how best we can solve it. I don't like mothers paining, Sammy and Parul. I don't like my mother's paining.
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing I do not want to see, because you pain the children and the family, the husband. Nobody knows what to do in that particular equation. Yes.
Very true.
To the next ones.
Yes, ma. I really agree with you. I mean, the very few moments when I have the memory of Ishita sharing something. So I remember when I conceived Vedhan, that was after a very long time. Ishita was born 13 almost years. So one thing she mentioned was that don't give this child that room. You bore me. so it has to be. So it's like, okay, then I have a double bedroom compartment inside now. So sharing a mom is really something, that reminded me of that Ishita really has a skill set.
Yeah.
So that was a lighter part. But
come up, all of you, come out with what you feel that your children would have said to you in small moments, like Rahul would come and bang on the door, my sharpener, where's my pencil? I need to sharpen, just to get my attention. It was these small little things that I realized much later when I wrote the book, that how much he wanted me to be there.
Yes.
And what else can you say? Mama, I've got a hurt on my little finger, and something very, very small, but you want mama to be there. So, a child is a child. How do you expect them to be an adult suddenly, So, yes. Yeah. Come on, girls. And I'm sure all of you have some little stories.
They definitely have.
I'm sure Parul has something. Parul is smiling.
नहीं, बिल्कुल मैं ये बात समझती हूँ रेखा माँ, और इवन यही बात माँ के साथ हमेशा आ जाती है जब वो कुछ काम भी कर रही होती है ना, तो बच्चों को अटेंशन उसी टाइम चाहिए होती है, और वो बिल्कुल
उसी टाइम पे
लेके आते हैं। आप में से जो भी अपने अनुभव शेयर करना चाहते हैं, अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस आप शेयर करना चाहते हैं, तो प्लीज आप अपना कैमरा ऑन करके या हैंड रेज करके अपनी बात रख सकते हैं।
एक्सप्रेशन नहीं देखते हैं तो हमको बहुत मुश्किल लगता है।
कहती है कि आप लोगों के चेहरे देखने से हमारे चेहरे खिल जाते हैं, तो प्लीज
ये दिस इज नॉट अबाउट मेकअप, दिस इज नॉट अबाउट Yeah.
Yeah, Kalpana, thank you so much.
देखिए ना कितना अच्छा लगता है। भाग्यश्री ऐसे क्यों छुप के बैठती है? खूबसूरत है तू।
Thank you, Gauri.
Come on, all of you.
If you have joined with your name, thank you, Neeta. And yes, being a mom is, I think, very, very overwhelming and very
Sammy,
exhausting
Gauri
also
is a
sometimes.
sibling, just for your
Hi, Gauri.
information.
So you, I was about to announce that if we have sibling behind the those, shut
Yes.
cameras, please
Yes.
come forward and
Very
reveal
important.
that you are the most
गौरी से ही
powerful
पूछते
person.
हैं, गौरी से ही पहले पूछते हैं
Yeah,
सैमी
we start
के
with Gauri.
क्या कहना चाहती हैं जी
Gauri,
बताइए।
would you like to unmute and share some sibling perspectives in its
Yeah.
true form? We don't want any model behavior here. Yeah, Gauri, over to you.
No,
Okay, guys,
yeah.
for 1 minute, Rahul has come in.
Yes,
Okay.
And
Rahul, yes.
yeah, you can all say hi to Rahul.
Yo,
Yeah.
wow, we have Rahul with us. Brinda, can you spotlight, please?
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Hi everyone.
Hi, good evening.
very
Hi,
much.
Rahul. Good evening.
Good evening.
So nice to have you. It gives more power to our siblings when they see you on screen. Thank you so much for joining.
Of course, pleasure. Lovely to join, and I'll just mute myself for now. And whenever you guys need me to join in, I will happily.
Gigi, we'll come to you, Rahul. Thank you so
Sure.
much. Yes, Gauri, starting from you.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for giving me the first opportunity to speak. I think when Rekhama was saying about like how the siblings feel when like a younger sibling comes into perspective. But for me, like I was trying to recollect all the instances growing up, पर मुझे ऐसा कभी नहीं लगा क्योंकि आई थिंक हमारा एज गैप बहुत है इट्स अ 9 year एज गैप so maybe because of that till date like I never felt that way कि मतलब मम्मी वरद पे मेरे भाई पे ज्यादा क्यों ध्यान दे रही है या मेरे पे देना चाहिए मतलब आई रियली लाइक आई ट्राइड वेरी हार्ड टू collect all
Recollect.
those instances but yeah I sort of feel very lucky that I feel this way and मुझे ऐसा लगता है like whatever I am today like whatever has guided my career path is because of my brother because I also like I'm also working as a disability support worker here right now in Australia and I'm not with Varad and I miss him every day every moment but that's sort of my like second path as well but I am also working for designing houses for high support beings in here so
Lovely.
basically people with special needs so designing high support housing for them so
Yes.
that's how my career has shaped because of Varad and I don't think अगर वो नहीं होता तो मतलब मुझे नहीं पता था कि मेरा लाइफ कैसे दिखता था या मैं इतनी what do we say I think maybe not like I don't know how to describe it's just a different feeling I'm so sorry I'm
I totally agree with
really
you, Gauri.
out of words.
I also feel Ma will agree that having a child with or a sibling with different needs, it also gives opportunity for elder siblings, I would say, to expand their capacities in many ways. And
Yeah.
As I see you and hear you that you are actually following a main career path, but in the sidewise also you have that
Yeah.
space, where you want to contribute more. So Ma,
Yeah.
what a wonderful thing, and we really have a strong, sibling community coming up under the leadership
Absolutely.
of Rahul Bhai. Thank you, Gauri, for
Thank you so
sharing
much.
and taking out time for joining us and sharing your
Thank you
thoughts
so much.
about it.
Thank you
It
so
was
much for
nice.
providing this platform. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Moms, do you want to share something when you notice something about your elder or the younger one who's the neurotypical one and is trying to create every possible opportunity to take your attentions in the house? Please unmute and share.
हैमी गौरी के केस में ये भी हो सकता है कि वो जैसे बता रही है कि अंतर काफी ज्यादा था तो मुझे लगता है वो अपने हिस्से का बहुत सारा प्यार पहले ही ले चुकी थी और वो शायद उस समझ पे आ चुकी थी क्योंकि हमारे बच्चे
Absolutely.
खासकर लड़कियां बहुत जल्दी बड़ी हो जाती हैं बहुत समझ
Yeah.
में आ जाती हैं तो वो उस चीज को बहुत समझती हैं पेरेंट्स की जिम्मेदारी को यस भाग्यश्री प्लीज
हेलो जैसे कि गौरी बोली अपना थोड़ा उनका गैप था। मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस थोड़ा शेयर करना चाहती हूँ।
Yes.
शुभ्रांशु का और मेरी बेटी के बीच में डेढ़ साल का ही गैप है। तो वो टाइम में शायद मुझे पता नहीं, दोनों ही छोटे थे। तो बेटी को पूरा जो मैं प्यार, जैसे माँ बोलती है, मैं टोटली उसको पूरा छोड़ना पड़ा। इसका जितना मैं मेडिकल इश्यूज था, मेरे मम्मी पापा के
भाग्यश्री,
पास
हमें बताओ 1.5 साल बड़ा कौन है?
बेटी बड़ी है।
अच्छा, हाँ जी, प्लीज कंटिन्यू।
तो बेटी बड़ी है तो उसको मैं शायद उसके लिए उसको पूरा जो बचपना में आ, वो 1.5 साल की तरफ मैंने तभी मेरी मम्मी पापा के पास मुझे उसको छोड़ना पड़ा, क्योंकि इतना सपोर्ट नहीं था कि मेरे मम्मी पापा यहाँ मेरे पास आ पाए। तो उसका बचपन ही पूरा छूट गया। मैंने कभी कभी सोचती हूँ बिल्कुल उसको मैं देख ही नहीं पाई। शायद वो जब 3 साल की हुई, जब थोड़ा शुभ्रांशु थोड़ा सेट हुआ, मेडिकल इश्यूज जितना भी था उसको हैंडल करते करते वो बिल्कुल वो कैसे बड़ी हुई पता ही नहीं चला कभी।
Yes, I totally agree with you, Bhagyashri, that sometimes being, typical human, you do not have that capacity to you're wanting to, and after that experience has passed, you really feel that you could have done better. But believe you me,
कभी कभी पता नहीं
given that
चला।
circumstances, time, and being you, you must have given the best of the options to both of your children. So we are with you, we feel you. And
लेकिन
yes,
प्रॉब्लम का भी
second
अभी
guessing.
वो टाइम में पता नहीं चलता है, लेकिन अभी जब सोचते हैं उसके
Absolutely.
बाद मैं अभी याद कर रही थी आज सुबह ही। मतलब वो 5 साल की जब थी, उस शुभ्रांशु को लेके मैं जब जाती थी, स्कूल जाना था, कहीं भी जाना था, तो वो 5 साल की उम्र में तब से वो आके अपना गेट लॉक खोलेगी, अपने से घर में ड्रेस चेंज करके वो मतलब कितनी जल्दी वो बड़ी हो गई वो पता नहीं चला। हर टाइम
Absolutely.
उसके ऊपर एक प्रेशर रहता था कि नहीं, तुम बड़ी हो, तुम कर लो। मतलब 3-4 साल की तब भी मैं बोलती थी कि तुम बड़ी हो, तुम कर लो, मैं इसको लेके जाती मैंने
Yes.
सुब्रा कुमार को करना है।
Mm.
तो अभी सोचने से माँ अभी लगता है कि मैंने कितना गलत किया था वो टाइम में।
It's
अभी
not
पता नहीं।
about doing wrong. This is what I'm trying to tell you,
No, this is
Bhagyashri.
what
this
this
is
is
what mothers
Yes,
Sammy,
ma.
all
this
about.
is very important for us to understand
Yes,
that
ma.
what you're telling us now is something that you're feeling now.
Now.
But कोई माँ गलत नहीं होती है
नहीं
भाग्यश्री.
होती.
नहीं, वो
There
टाइम
is
में मैं
no
एक्चुअली
wrong mother.
आज
It
सुबह
is
ही बात
just
चल रहा।
that वो circumstances में ऐसा हो जाता है कि I used to leave Rahul with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and take Bubbly for the surgery. उसको तो बिल्कुल he never wanted to be there. He wanted only me. So sometimes we don't realize, we think, okay, somebody else will fill the gap, or nani ma, or will never be able to do that. You can, you for some time, yes, you don't mind it, but the grandmother can never be the mother. And that is what, sometimes we want somebody to support us, so we reach out. But the child only wants the mother, no, regardless. So yes, it
मतलब
is,
वो ना उसको
but
पता भी नहीं चला कि माँ क्या है। मुझे तो लगता है कभी कभी वो मतलब 1.5 साल की उम्र में मम्मी के पास छोड़ना मुझे पड़ा। तो वो उसका बचपन अभी मैं याद करती हूँ वो कैसी थी। कभी मैंने उसका मेमोरीज भी मुझे याद मैं नहीं कर पाती हूँ, वो कैसे कैसे बड़ी हो गई। इसको लेके वो अभी खराब लगता है जब वो मुझे
अभी
पूछते।
अब इसको सोचो ही मत, because you can't bring that back. And तुम अपने आप को ना, you're feeling bad about it. मत करो. We are all with you. We all understand what you're going through, because a mother is always torn. एक माँ को ना एक को छोड़ के दूसरे पे she cannot do it. नहीं होता है. Yes, Jyoti. Sammy, Jyoti's got her hand up.
Yeah, Jyoti Chaurasia, would you like to unmute and
हेलो, हाँ
Yeah.
जी मैम।
बोलिए.
जी मैं अपने बच्चों का एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहूंगी।
बोलो.
please?
हेलो,
Yeah, we can hear you, Jyoti.
हम आपको सुन पा रहे हैं, ज्योति
ओके।
बोलिए।
हाँ जी, मैं ये बताना चाहूंगी कि मेरी बेटी जो है डाउन सिंड्रोम, हैविंग डाउन सिंड्रोम, एंड जो मेरा बेटा है वो 1.5 साल छोटा है उससे। बट जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज छोटे से ही उसने अपनी जो एल्डर सिस्टर है अब 9 इयर्स की है और बेटा में 7 इयर्स का है, उसने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज बेटे ने उठाई है। यहाँ तक कि जैसे ताइक्वांडो मैंने ज्वाइन करवाया था तो उसको कपड़े पहनने में अगर दिक्कत होती थी तो वो हेल्प करता था। पढ़ाई में भी एक्चुअली वही हेल्प करता है उसको मोस्टली, और उसी को देख देख कर ही वो बेटी मेरी मतलब बहुत कुछ सीखी है। बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट मिला मुझे अपने बेटे का।
Nice. Very good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I also remember Ishita, just being
I
12 or
feel
13 years
I'm
old.
very lucky
Yes, yes.
कि मुझे मतलब इतना
Definitely.
प्यारा बेटा मिला और वो हमेशा ऑलराउंडर ही रहता है मतलब सारे सब्जेक्ट्स में फर्स्ट। अभी भी इस सेशन में फर्स्ट आया है वो। अब सेकंड क्लास में दोनों ही गए क्योंकि बेटी को मैंने रिपीट करवाया है, तो उसको पढ़ने में और यहाँ तक कि सारी जो एक्स्ट्रा एक्टिविटीज हैं फिजिकल वो करने में काफी प्रॉब्लम होती थी, लेकिन बेटे को देख देख कर वो बहुत कुछ सीखी, बहुत कुछ सीखी। मतलब आप समझ लीजिए सेकंड क्या फर्स्ट टीचर अगर माँ को कहते हैं ना, सेकंड टीचर जो है वो मेरा बेटा बना मेरी बेटी के लिए।
क्योंकि आपको भी लगता है कि आपका बेटा फील करता है कि उसे माँ का कम समय मिल रहा है या माँ का प्यार कम मिल रहा है?
हाँ, कभी कभी लगता था क्योंकि मुझे उस पर बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान देना पड़ता था, आराध्या पे। लेकिन फिर उसने महसूस किया, जैसे जैसे वो बड़ा हुआ उसने ये चीज महसूस किया, मैंने उसको चीजें बताई कि मतलब हम दोनों की दीदी को जरूरत है। जितनी भी एक्टिविटीज हैं पढ़ाई से लेकर यहाँ तक कि कपड़े पहनने या जो भी चीजें हैं रेगुलर बेस, वो सारी चीजें सिखाने में हम दोनों ने उसकी हेल्प करी है। बेटा मेरा छोटा है लेकिन बहुत समझदार है।
हाँ,
Okay,
बहुत
Sammy,
अच्छा।
I think you need some translations because there are people in the South, no, they keep telling me that we don't follow the Hindi.
Yes.
So I think a
Absolutely.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Jyoti says that her son is younger, but has played a role.
Okay, Sammy is frozen.
वृंदा जी आप ट्रांसलेट कर दीजिए।
हाँ, तो Jyoti's daughter is the elder one, but her younger son is the one who takes care of the elder sister.
Yes.
He even helps her in her studies, even when it comes to taekwondo classes, which they are both going to. If the daughter has any issues, the son helps her in even dressing her up. So she feels blessed to have a child like her son, who is the younger sibling and who's taken full responsibility of his elder sister.
एक्चुअली तो यहाँ पर रेखा में ज्योति ने ऐसा किया है कि बच्चे को साथ में लेके शायद चली है और समझाते हुए।
जी जी जी। और वो मेरे लिए काफी ज्यादा हेल्पफुल भी रहा है क्योंकि मैंने उसके माइंड में पहले से ये डाल रखा है कि हम दोनों उसके लिए हैं। तो उससे उसको भी नहीं लगता है कि दीदी को प्यार ज्यादा करती हैं, मतलब अब उसे ये चीज फील नहीं होती है क्योंकि वो समझ चुका है कि हम दोनों की ही उसको जरूरत है और मैं इक्वली दोनों को ही प्यार करती हूँ। यहाँ तक कि यहाँ
जी
तक कि मैम स्लाइडिंग वाला जो झूला रहता है वो दीदी का, जबकि उसकी मतलब वेट ज्यादा है और वो अभी कितने 21 केजी का होगा और वो 28 केजी की है।
Okay,
बट वो
Parul, I think
नीचे
we have a lot of people who want to talk. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll have to just keep moving on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Jyoti, we totally understand you that, a sibling who is a neurotypical in the composition of a person's with Down syndrome's family, also get, I think the maturity towards the seeing life and its challenges shapes them, early in their life to get mature, and they really become a very contributive member of the family. We totally with you, Jyoti, and thank you so much for sharing your experience. We would request if more parent, if they have come across such a feeling with their child, that when the typical has said that where were you or where are you, I need you. So if you can add, it can be lighter moments also, need not to be all the serious kind of discussions. So please open up and share. For that, now we would like to, Kalpana ji, you want to share something?
Actually, I have like 3 kids. So Balkan is the one who is Down syndrome, but he has an elder sister who is 3 years elder to him, and younger. I have a younger son who is 3 years younger to him. So I've experienced like both the situations where the I have a daughter. I used to take her along to the therapy sessions, and like it I experienced that no, she has developed into a compassionate human being, and
Yes, Kalpana.
yeah, and as far as my younger son is concerned, uh, in fact, because of him, Balkan started speaking early, because he used to speak to him a lot. And no, so Balkan used to respond to him, and so he started walking, talking early than the other kids which I used to see in the therapy sessions. And maybe because we always had a big family, my in-laws were there, and we had relatives coming in, so no, that bond was very strong. So I never felt that no, that somewhere my daughter or my son were feeling left, was because they were somewhere, no, they were always involved with Balkan. So I would like to say that no, sometimes uh, having elder, having son or daughter, they become your big support system.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rather than no, you getting depressed that you're not able to no, take care of your younger kid or your elder kid. Otherwise, no, after Balkan, I took this that I had third child. So everyone was like, no, oh, what are you doing? You have already have a no Down syndrome child, and what's the guarantee that the third
Yes.
child will be a
Yes,
normal?
I so much identify with that feeling of you, Kalpana, because I also had my, younger one after a baby, giving a birth to a baby with Down syndrome. Totally with Kalpana, Ma, this topic needs a lot of communication, because I think there are so much to share, but the vocabulary around it is so less that the parent is trying to understand that how to express. There are so many emotions, and putting those emotions to words, it's not an easy
It's not
task,
easy.
especially
Not
when it
easy.
comes to something like this. So I think we need to create more communication, or generate more discussion around it. Coming
I
to
want to add one thing here, Sammy.
yes, ma'am.
I many times in the conferences,
Yes,
I find a lot of parents who tell the sibling,
yeah,
you have to keep an eye on your brother or your sister. Now, and they try to make them into a more, more evolved, more responsible person much before their time. ये
yes,
तेरा responsibility है, तू जा, तू उसके ख्याल रख, make sure they've had their food. Now, I feel sometimes this can have a very negative feedback. Now, this is where I want feedback from Rahul. Do we put this responsibility on the sibling, or do we just allow it to evolve?
Thanks, Mami. The answer to that, and just been listening to all the siblings as well as parents till now, mothers especially. I'd like to see more fathers present from now on. I don't see too many fathers present, or brothers. I'm sure there are some that care, but as and when they feel ready to join. I've heard a few mothers, if I can just speak about 4 or 5 topics that I've made a note of based on what I've listened to till now. One is, I'm hearing a lot of mothers feel guilt. And I'm not a mother. I don't know what it means to be a mother of a person with Down syndrome. But I do know what it means to be a brother of a person with Down syndrome. And I'm not sure where the guilt comes from, whether it's from society, whether it's from our own expectations as human beings. But if you were to ask your child, 2 children, one with Down syndrome, one without, if you were to ask your other child, do you feel like I don't spend time with you? I think the answers will surprise you. And listening to their answers might give you some relief. Because they might say, no, I'm perfectly all right, or why do you ask me that question? Or I'm happy without you. It could surprise you. So I think just as a parent, give yourself a pat on the back, because I feel like really to start with, we are all just coping or surviving, because initially it's shock, I would think, and then it's about survival. It's survival based on your own family situation, your own support system, your own capabilities, your own challenges, each that is very individual to each of you. And therefore, give yourself a break, give yourself a pat on the back, and take credit for the fact that you are managing a situation that is not a lot of people can manage. And you are much stronger than what you think you are maybe capable of. That's point number one. Point number two is really about the fact that expectations of parents, and Mummy, maybe this is the point that you were making about what should parents expect. I think parents should expect nothing. We base our expectations on society, we base our expectations on what our parents taught us, what should be the right sanskar for the family. But the reality is that you don't control your child. Your child will evolve at the pace that they are capable of evolving. And if you leave them, I think they'll surprise you positively. Both the child with Down syndrome and the child without. Because what children do is to follow their parents. So really, the thing that children will do is to watch their parents and to act like their parents over a period of time. And therefore, the only thing you really control is yourself. And if you do the right things, you should expect that your children will over a period of time. And leave it to the child to decide when they are capable of doing it. Because like my mom was saying, setting an expectation could have two impacts. It could bring responsibility before the child is able to take it, and might rob them of their childhood to some extent. On the other side, it could be that they take that responsibility but feel like, hey, you know what, later on they might come to you and say, why did you make me do that? Because I had other things to do, or I missed out on certain things. And therefore, I think children will surprise their parents positively if you just let them be, because they will do the right thing over a period of time, depending on following their parents. And you guys are all such amazing women, amazing mothers who are able to take care of not just one, two, or maybe sometimes three children, plus a family, plus in-laws. It's a lot. And therefore, just let it happen rather than think too much about it. I see a lot of people thinking a lot.
Yeah.
And causing a lot of anxiety to yourselves, which maybe is not potentially required. Enjoy your children, all of them, they're all very different. So we have three children, we have three boys. Each one is so different that we can't be the same with each of them. We have to be different. And we manage them differently. Each one surprises us positively and negatively. Some good days, some bad. And that's just the way we deal with it. And my last point would be, instead of thinking for your children and what they are feeling, ask them what they're feeling and listen to them. Don't defend. Don't defend that you should have done this or you should have done that, or maybe I should have done this. Listen to them and adapt if you think it's right. So those would be my kind of both reflections as well as just listening to all of you. Maybe I spoke too long, but those are my responses for now.
Thank you so much, Rahul, for your inputs. It was very comforting for many mothers, and of course the other parents also, and siblings also get a lot of insight when you speak about your experience and your learning of lives with us. So coming to another very strong sibling in our community, coming to Shreyanshi. Shreyanshi, you are there. We would also like to now listen to the elder sister's perspective towards being a sibling. How does it make you feel many times?
Yes, absolutely. I had a couple of thoughts about what Rahul said. I think I should say Rahul Bhaiya. I
Yeah, it's
shouldn't
fine.
say Rahul, but yeah, The couple of thoughts that I had were in the formative years. I think there's a while I completely agree with everything else that he said, that is also very well put. And one thing is that I feel like in the formative years, maybe there's a little bit of a conversation that still should be had about how, it's your responsibility to be there for your sibling, because it also depends on individuals and like the sibling in question, because I feel like that conversation itself is extremely important because it shapes the way that you think for the rest of your life. And while you're a kid, maybe you don't realize that, okay, this conversation is being had with me for this particular reason. But when you grow up, I, for one, always have like this sort of voice in my head from all the conversations that I've had with my parents over the years when I was younger, that, when you're older, this is your responsibility, and this is something that you need to also be cognizant of, and it's not your burden. Like the more important thing to note is that it's never been told to me that this is a burden or this comes as like a liability to you. This is, I feel like, for me, what has really helped me over the years is to be able to understand that not even 1 ounce of my connection with my sister is something that that has or will at any point be uh, a deterrent to the life that I want to live. And in fact, it helps me. It has been such a big catalyst for the way that I perceive my career as well. It has made me more ambitious. It has made me kinder. And I cannot tell you, I have one of my closest friends in Bombay. She has a sibling who's autistic. It's obviously different, but having a sibling with special needs, I feel like it shapes you in a very different mold than it does for somebody with a neurotypical sibling. And it does depend on sibling relationships as well. But for me personally, I feel like I would not have been half as kind. I would not have been half as ambitious as I am. And my life would be completely different. It's almost like when I met Chandni, I also met a version of myself that I would not do without. Like, it's not even about, forget the whole responsibility aspect and everything that society tells you that, oh, आपको ये करना, like you will have to do this, you will have to do that, and all of that. That is a later conversation. But then the way that it has shaped me as an individual, I don't think I would ever be able to repay that debt to my sister for the way that,
Absolutely with
even
you,
though I'm her
Shreyanshi.
elder sibling, I'm sorry, I'm just quickly going to conclude. I
Yes,
know
yes.
I'm taking a little bit too long, but I do have a couple of more points. I will very quickly conclude. Yes, so my thing is, I think it has definitely shaped me as a person. I think it has definitely made me a very different person. And also, it has allowed people, anybody who's close to me knows my sister, anybody who's close to me knows my mother, anybody who's close to me knows what Down syndrome is. Anybody who's close to me also knows what VSFI is, okay? Because I also, like, this is something that I put on like my Instagram bio, this, that, wherever, and all of that. And I feel like that is extremely important, and that is something that gets overlooked when you're talking about siblings and all of that. I feel like it's just such a blessing. I would not trade it for anything else in the universe, on the planet, at all. And the other thing that I'm very grateful to my mother for, and that I think can be a great strategy. Now, I'm not saying one size fits all and this will work for each parent and everything, but I have great guilt about the fact that I left home 10 years ago and I've not been able to go back home ever since, because it's just been better for my career. And I would not be half the news anchor that I am. I would not be able to chase my goals the way that I want to chase them. And it comes out a very big price for my mother, because my mother has to be twice the. I know she's going to disagree, okay? I can see the disagreement creeping up, but my
Sammy, you can make
conclusion
out she's
point
a news
is.
anchor.
Absolutely, Ma. She has to make her points.
Sorry, just my conclusive point, my last point is
Yeah.
that with my mother, I'm just so grateful that my mother has been able to give me the opportunity to also chase my career, my goals separately, aside from my responsibility as a sister, and also show up as a sister while I'm doing that. I feel like the sibling also needs to not be burdened burdened is like a heavy word, but it needs to not be burdened by that responsibility as well, because while that may fall on them at a later date, it is the primary caretaker's responsibility that needs to be balanced. And I feel like I'm just so super grateful that I have been able to derive that balance. And it's key. There's no one size fits all.
Yes, absolutely. And it will not look nice if Parul says that let's move on to the next speaker. So let me intervene and say, absolutely, the unique challenges and rewards, which come along with having a neurodiverse individual at home are immense. And there are a lot of things which you can feel grateful about. But yes, at that moment of, you are a human and you want to be the equal parent to both your children, so you do have that guilt. Like I
Thank you
would
so much for
like
allowing
to
me the extra time, though. I am sorry to
thank
cut
you,
you off once.
Shreyanshi.
मैं यहाँ पे बिल्कुल यहीं पे एकदम मैं राहुल के व्यू जानना चाहती हूँ, बिकॉज हम सिबलिंग्स की बात यहाँ सुनना चाहते हैं। तो
Absolutely.
जो इसने बोला है तो मैं चाहती हूँ राहुल क्या इस पे सोचते हैं।
Rahul, would you like to share something which Shreyanshi just mentioned about being a sister to a younger
Yeah.
sibling with this?
Yeah, so I agree with what Shreyanshi said. I don't think one size fits all. I think to be able to be a good sister or a good brother or a good sibling, you have to chase your own dreams. Because in chasing your own dreams, you become stronger, you become independent, you become more self-reliant, and you also bring back positivity to your sibling's life. And there are many times that I depend on Bubbly when, I'm having a bad day, or there are days that Bubbly can pick me up that nobody else can, because there's always unconditional love in that corner. And she will always stand up for me. She will always fight for me. She's very, very, very focused on making sure that I'm always all right. And, we have the advantage of, in a weird way, of taking it for granted. But you know what? God has blessed us with these siblings, and therefore, why aren't we taking it for granted and taking advantage of it to become stronger human beings? Otherwise, I agree with everything that Shreyanshi said, and I think, like she said, I don't think there's a one size fits all. I think it's very contextual to the family, and
Absolutely.
therefore, I think just as human beings, we tend to compare a lot. I think just my only sharing would be do it at the pace that your is right for your family. And each family's speed, each family's ability to cope, each family's support is different. One of the things that tends to cause a lot of friction or pressure is when we compare to other people or other children or other families. And I would only encourage each family not to do so. I would say just let it happen naturally and let it be at the pace that is right for your family.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you, Rahul. And yes, here in India, family comes in all shape and sizes, and with all different kind of cultural background and the kind of values system you follow in the house. So that also makes a different impact on the younger generation which is coming up, and they learn a lot of things which are not directly taught, but they learn by observing, and how the elders are taking the life, and what kind of a decisions they are making, and what kind of adjustments they are making in their life, that really shapes the younger generation towards, yes, now there are a lot of the modern style of parenting is coming up, and there are a lot of other factors also intervening in parenting. So, and I think we are also together as a community evolving around it. So as a parent, I what I miss about that, because that was a very short experience I had with my baby with DS and the elder daughter, that yes, I totally agree with Bhagyashri. I missed Ishita for that period. I don't remember how she became a partner in life in managing chaos, which was life was throwing us, and trying to understand it. She became a partner immediately, then becoming the eldest of the house. So the whole life was revolving around her, and all of a sudden something comes up which requires attention and support from each and every person who is there was in the nuclear family. So yes, I remember when Bhagyashri said, "Oh, kab badi hui." I remember, I think Ishita was in class 6th or 7th. She learned to cook rice on her own because any time of the day, I used to land up in the hospital with Vedant, and it was difficult for me to, to compensate for my duties in the house. So I taught her that. She learned, and I mean, yes, now when I reflect back and I feel I missed, so I compensate with, doing more things, which in present context are right and can be done. So I think that's how I'm trying to relive back. And yes, having the little one around is, again, she doesn't have a single mom. She has me as a mom, main mom, and a junior mom to her. So, like a lot of other aspects, also we expanded our personalities, after having family to Vedanta Angel.
So this
Please
is
go
where
ahead.
I want to come in, Sami. When
Yes,
I
yes,
say
ma'am.
that, I'm watching parents with teenage typical children, right? So those children definitely need attention, because I get calls sometimes from the siblings who are 13, 14, 15, 16 saying that, I don't want a sibling who has to be a special need child. So sometimes I find that difficult, because when you listen to their side of the story, they feel that their parents are not giving them the necessary time. And there is too much being put on this particular child, especially expectations of their education or their responsibilities, or whatever it is. So these children are cracking up. And I want the parents to understand that being a teenager and growing into that adolescent phase is the most difficult thing. And adolescence is not easily handled if the parent is also not there to listen to me. That's when they also can go astray. And I would like the parents to understand the responsibilities they have to both children. And as much as you need to go for all the therapies, this particular child also needs therapy. Therapy as in sit and talk to them, find out what is it that, how are your friends, your peers are very important. Find out how they're doing in the classroom, because sometimes we think it will just happen, but I think that particular child is also missing. And finding the parent going all the time for all the other therapies that I'm watching the parents go, what happens to me? I also need my mother to come for my dance class, and it's a mother. So sometimes I find the mother being torn apart. At the same time, I don't know whether to agree, disagree, or sometimes. So here I want support, Rahul. What should I tell the child who is going through that adolescent phase where they are struggling, literally struggling?
Yeah, I think each child is different. I think some may struggle, some may not. Just to be very frank, I think one of the most, I'm talking about my own children or our own children at this point in time. If I was to give you an example, just with Bubbly as well as with our own children, our eldest guy is now 13, so he's an adolescent, and he has different needs. So, and it depends on the personality of the child as well. Some children talk when they are playing sport. Some children talk when they are just natural talkers. Some don't talk at all. It depends on, as a parent, in what environment does your child open up to you, and being able to really listen to them at that point in time, rather than, for me, as a father, telling them what to do. Because a lot of the time, adolescents, when they do open up, just want to be listened to. And beyond that, they're able to solve their own challenges. What they want to know is that they're being heard. If they ask for counsel or guidance and you have that type of relationship with your children, then listen, understand their real challenges, confirm that you've heard them right. And then, if you have a solution, great. If you don't have a solution, be honest and say that, we can work on this together, and think about it and then go back to them rather than needing to solve the problem immediately. I think there are some things that you can't solve immediately. Putting pressure on yourself to solve it immediately is also something that will be detrimental to the overall relationship and to yourselves, because you'll be putting yourself under pressure. So rather than try to solve the problem, just listen to the problem first and really empathize with what the problem is with regards to that person. As human beings, we all want to be listened to, right? That's why we have these groups, whether it's a sibling group, whether it's a mother group, whether it's with my own partner, right? With my wife. Ultimately, when my wife talks, she'd like me to listen and sometimes just shut my mouth and then not say anything. But just because she wants to say something and get it off her chest or out of her mind. And sensing that is an important part of being able to listen to your adolescent child.
Absolutely.
I hope that answers the question, Amin.
I'm still finding it difficult because sometimes and you didn't like me using the word, but the word is struggling. I find children not knowing in which direction, and I don't want them losing their balance by doing things that they should not be doing also. So sometimes just listening to them, and sometimes when I'm in the counseling sessions, it's invariably that we're not counseling the parents or the child with Down syndrome, it's the other child. And I was telling Sammy that during many of my conferences, it's the other child that I'm looking at. And constantly trying to get them to understand, because they can't understand why is it that a parent is always running behind this child and I have to be sitting here waiting for them to come and look at me. So when I talk and like we're traveling, Brinda and me, and I'm always telling her that I think it's so difficult for a parent, it's so difficult for the parent per se to be to doing the right thing and waiting. And you always feel guilty that you have not done given enough time to this one, and there is hardly any time for myself. And I keep telling, we always keep saying me time. Where is the me time for a parent?
Yeah.
Lily, I mean, it's quite tough. It's quite tough on our parents. And the way I'm watching this world of the competition and the way they're struggling, I want the parents to start relaxing and opening up to. I mean, there's so much that has to be done by us as a federation.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
okay.
Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah.
please, Sammy.
Pardon?
Yes.
No, I said, please go ahead, Sammy.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, Rekha. I think Federation has already done a very wonderful thing to bring about this Humsafar family. Now the sibling groups is also active, and also now a lot of suggestions I'm reading because I've joined from my phone. I can't read the whole message, otherwise I'll miss the screen. That a grandparent support group also needs to come. So I think that's a very pretty good suggestion, Rekha. I think that can be considered. So Rashmi Agarwal, you want to add something, right?
Sammy, here I'm the leader.
Yes, Ma, you have. Rashmi Agarwal, over to you.
Hi. I mean, as everybody said, that every family setting is different. And here we are talking about moms only, like moms are torn apart. But I would like to say that my husband partnered equally in every single thing. And I think that has made our life and our family story little different for us. I don't know about the word, but for us together. So every time, if Nitin was handling Pranav, I was handling Lakshay. So it was like we partnered in doing everything together, and then we made sure that we had family time together every single day. So that helped us. Like everybody belonged every to this home, and everybody was there for each other. So I think that was beautiful. And now we don't tell Lakshay for anything. He's like, Mama, I'm there now. Why do you have to like think or ask me about it? So it is never that we told him that you need to do this or you need to be part of it. It is automatically coming. It's like, matlab, if you ask him ki, what is it like having a special needs sibling, he's like, he's my sibling, that's it. There's
I think
nothing
that's the
else.
world for him, no? His world was always like this. His world had
Yes,
these main characters.
absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely. He's never seen the word in any other way.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Rashmi, due credit to your husband. I met him at the conference at the medical camp in Delhi, and I said, "Where's
Yes.
Rashmi?" And he said, "She had to go to work today, and I've
Yeah.
taken over."
Yes.
I felt so
Yes.
proud of him.
Yes,
So
Ma,
he got,
that's a very beautiful part
yeah.
of this couple, Rashmi and Nitin, that they really interchange. And we also have Aishwarya's sister here. So I would quickly like to go to Abhipsha and ask her to unmute and share her sibling story. Now we really need to switch on the lighter mode. We are going to listen from Abhipsha and Aishwarya. Abhipsha, over to you. Please quickly come.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Abhipsha.
Hi. So, story as in what stories are like lots and lots of stories. 15 years, पूरी कहानी बताने बैठूं तो किताब लिखनी पड़ेगी. Let me know
Okay.
what shall I say?
Any experience you felt, Aishwarya is getting all the limelight, or you are left
No,
out,
no,
or you are.
I won't talk about that, Sammy. I want to ask you, what are your future plans, and
Yeah.
this is more important for me, because it has been a fantastic relationship between you and your little one. But when you look at the future, what do you envisage?
Like future just for myself or me along with her?
No. Why along? I'm talking about you. We are all individuals. We are not Khushi. I don't think everything has to
वो
be linked.
वो
बोलो.
हमेशा उसी के बारे में बात करती है माँ. राहुल ने
नहीं,
कोलकाता में
नहीं,
भी उसको ये बोला
कोई
था
बात
कि भाई
नहीं है,
why don't
पारुल.
you
I
think
agree
about
with you,
yourself?
but she has her own life, her own space, her
Yes.
own feelings, and she has a few. She's now only about 15, 16. There's a long way to go.
Oh my God,
So
Abhipsha, 16?
She's 16, I'm 20.
Ma, she's 20, Abhipsha. Abhipsha,
yeah,
you,
so
only you as you, how we see you.
All right. So right now I'm in my third year of graduation doing psychology research. So just yesterday I was getting my career counseling and I figured it out that it is clinical psychology for me. So career wise this is set, that masters, PhD and having my own setup or working in a hospital, that is for sure. Then I okay. So yeah, this is like career wise, everything is said. But if I have to talk about life wise, yes, there is going to be a point where I'm going to get married. Yeah, Aishwarya will be there throughout the whole rituals, and she has a dream of, taking care of my baby. So that's a different thing altogether. But yeah, career wise, getting into clinical psychology, working everything all together, setting my life into track, and just hoping everything goes all good. Let's see.
Yes, and she has
congratulations. Yes,
also had a job profile for Aishwarya. That's so lovely.
very
Thank
nice
you
to hear
so much.
from you.
Rekha Ma, you want to ask
Yes,
the successor more?
I didn't hear that one.
जी बिल्कुल. लेकिन यहाँ पर मैं यही ऐड करना चाहूंगी कि जैसा खुशी ने कहा है कि उसके अपने प्लान्स हैं. तो जैसे राहुल ने हर बार यही जो है इस चीज़ पे वो दिया है प्रेशर कि आप बहुत ज़्यादा मत सोचिए. तो हम पेरेंट्स बहुत ज़्यादा सोचने लगते हैं. इतना भी नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि मैंने इस बच्चे पे ध्यान दिया या नहीं दिया. बच्चों पे बिल्कुल भी ध्यान नहीं दिया जाता, किसी भी तरह के आते हैं. मुझे याद है कि जब मैं छोटी थी और मेरा भाई छोटे भाई बहन थे, तो मम्मी खुद मुझे बैठा देती थी, तू यहाँ बैठ जरा, मैं खाना बनाती हूँ, तू यहाँ बैठ. तो इतना कोई नहीं सोचता है. तो हम लोग, क्योंकि वो बच्चा स्पेशल है, तो हम ज्यादा सोचने लगते हैं. तो वन थिंग के ज्यादा नहीं सोचना चाहिए. और दूसरी बात जो राहुल से मैं बहुत ज्यादा एग्री करती हूँ, और जिसपे वो बहुत ज्यादा सभी बच्चों को और सभी सिबलिंग्स को जो सजेशन देते हैं कि आप अपने करियर पे ध्यान दीजिए, आप अपनी लाइफ पे बेस्ट करिए. बिकॉज वो ही सबसे मेन चीज है जो आप कर सकते हैं. वो ही सबसे बड़ी हेल्प है जो आप कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि वो फ्यूचर में आपके सिबलिंग के लिए ही काम आने वाली है. यस रेखा मैम.
Absolutely.
Parul, can I just say one more thing, which Rashmi made
Yes,
a
Rahul.
Yes, please.
she made a brilliant point. She said, we interchange as parents between, who takes care of which child. So it's actually something that struck very, very close to home for us. So one of the things that Maya and I have understood about our children is one-to-one time with your child is very important. So depending on the day of the week, I will spend a little bit of time with Dhruva. Then the next day, I might spend a little bit of time with Arjun. Then the next day, I might spend a little bit of time with Kabir. Because each child wants to be known that they have that relationship with their parent. And I would only say that, and therefore Maya takes care of the other kids when I'm with one person and vice versa. It doesn't, and I think that's a very important part of being able to make your other child, whoever that child might be, whether they're going through adolescence, they're going through a critical juncture in their life, spending one-to-one time with both children is a very important part that we have learned as parents to be able to form that strong family relationship. Second is, as a family, we sit down for meals, whether it is breakfast before all the kids go to school or dinner together, because it brings everybody to one place. And so while you treat them differently when you're in one-to-one and you give them that special time, bringing everybody together is an important part of what we have learned of just being parents. To whatever child that you have, right? I think ultimately children want to feel loved by their parents and listened to by their parents. So yeah, thanks Rashmi for bringing that up. I think that's a great point.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rahul, for adding. Gauri, you want to add something? I think that will be the last point added. So we have
Yeah.
already sitting time. Yeah, Gauri.
Yeah, I just have a question for myself,
Okay.
to Rahul Bhaiya and to Shreyansi and any other sibling or parent or any other mentor. Does when Rahul Bhaiya, you were saying that we should like obviously give priority to our careers and everything, but does the feeling of guilt, like Shreyansi said, does it ever fade or does it ever go away? And how do I deal with that? Because right now what I feel is how many years I physically spent with my brother is still less, and it is always going to be less. Like the COVID time, the 2 years that we got together was a bonus on whatever that I went away from home and then I had to come back. But does it ever go away, or is it going to get easier ever?
Thanks, Gauri. Great question. Shreyansi, you want to go first, and then I'll go next.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say that it does get better. At least for me, it has. In that I feel like as I've gotten older, I've gotten a way to process it, and also to just put that energy and put that guilt into a place where, I can utilize it to show up for my sibling better. So I understand that I'm not able to be there for her throughout the year, but I make it a point to always show up for her birthday. And I understand that it's a very tiny thing, it's a very small thing and all of that, but like you have to find certain rituals that you always show up for and that your sibling can depend on. And whenever I'm planning my bookings, my tickets, my sister is the first one to know. Before I tell my parents, before I tell Indigo, before I tell anybody and my boss, my sister's the first one to know, and that's why she's always counting days, and it helps her, understand and put that sort of object permanence thing and understand that, I'm going to show up, I'm going to come at that point, etc., etc. Also, other than that, I feel like there's a certain ritual that you need to find. Like with my last point, I quickly just wanted to say that you need to find a ritual that works for you and your sibling. Like my sister sometimes, like she does not like video calls that much. Like she's okay with them, but she's able to like sometimes connect better on like phonetic conversations. So it just needs to be, there's no one size fits all ever. And whenever you have that guilt, feel free to reach out to your sibling, and you will be surprised by how great of an interaction you're going to be ending up having with them. So use that, utilize that guilt, and it will A, fade away, and B, it'll help you show up as a sibling better.
And I think Gauri, your sibling, gave you a glimpse and was so happy, and with a proud
Yeah.
smile, he was there and waving at you that, yes, I saw you talking. Huh? Yeah, coming to
Yeah,
Rahul,
it's,
would you like to add something?
Yeah, so I agree with what Shreyansi said. I would say a couple of things. There's a very thin line between guilt and ownership and responsibility. And I think it changes over time. So we're brought up in a certain environment. Maybe I felt guilt before, and it's normal to feel it. So it's okay to feel guilt, right? But I think over a period of time, it transforms into responsibility. And responsibility is actually a nice thing to have, as long as it's not a responsibility that causes pressure on you. Because I think it's important to be able to own that. So in your family, I'm guessing that there are more than just you. Each person plays their role. And as long as you're playing your part in it, and not taking ownership for something that you don't own, you're not a parent. In this context, you're a sibling, and therefore you play the sibling role. And there may be a day that you have a greater responsibility than a sibling. Maybe you become a caretaker. Okay, then you take that role and you build over time between, unexpected or disassociated responsibility to where it becomes guilt, to a time where you play the role. And the way that you are functioning at the moment, I have no doubt that you will learn that over a period of time. All I would say is don't accelerate to a point where you feel like you need to do something before the time comes for you to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that.
बहुत शुक्रिया राहुल, आपने जो ऐड किया है। और मुझे लगता है सैमी आप भी एग्री करेंगी उससे। और मैं जो आज की बात निकल के आई है सैमी, लगता है कि एक महीने में एक बार इस तरह का प्रोग्राम होना चाहिए। खासकर मैं चाहूंगी राहुल उसमें आए और सिबलिंग्स की जो इस तरह की क्वेरीज हैं और इन सबको अगर वो सॉल्व करेंगे तो बहुत अच्छा होगा।
Yeah, we are evolving as a community together. I think these kind of conversation bring in more comfort and ease in our lives, in facing all the odds, life, and the situations and time put in our lives. So yes, we should have frequent conversations like this. But it was very what I was trying to say when I was muted and then didn't realize that I switched on my computer, that we are humans and we'll keep revisiting those feelings which once we felt, and we can't get rid of them. Yes, over the period of time we learn to handle them better and convert them into more into better values which we can add back to our own lives and in our family's life. It is so heartwarming, Rekha Ma, to get all the siblings. There were so many siblings. I mean, one virtual union of Gauri's brother also happened when he waved with a very broad smile on his face to the sister back. Gauri, you got that glimpse? So it was very heartwarming, and for me, for overwhelming also. Rekha Ma, we would not end the session without your observation.
This session has been very close to my heart for a long time, and I have been reeling under this for some time. And I was hoping Rahul would actually come in because he's on a holiday now with his family. But I really thank the siblings for giving their perspective, because it's so important that we have them actually giving us their feelings of whatever they've been through in their lives. But thank you all so much, and to all the siblings, the parents, for your time. And I think we'll continue this conversation, to be continued, Parul and Sammy. Very
absolutely,
important,
Ma.
because the next episode we're going to insist on the fathers, like Rahul said. I think we need them also to come in, and we need to talk to them also. So we'll do all that. Okay. Now, just for now, I need to interrupt the whole thing because my grandchildren are all under my feet. Okay. So
thank you so much.
And I think somebody said we should have a grandparents meet.
Yes.
So we will do that too very soon.
Yes. Thank you so much, Rahul, joining us today.
Thank you so much.
The odds you are facing in your life and being alone. Thank you so much. We would love to have you again and again with us here. And thank you all the siblings and the super parents here. Thank you, Brinda. Thank you, Parul. Thank you, Rekha Ma.
Thank you, everyone. I am ending the meeting now. See you all